Hey everybody, welcome back to the MORGUE podcast. I'm Jamie Santamore. This is episode 15 of the rebranding of the MORGUE podcast. And this week's topic is the 5 biggest mistakes or missteps in the Scream film franchise. And I'm only limiting this to the films. And I thought about adding in the TV series, but there's no way I could bring it down to 5 if I added all 3 seasons of the television series. So this is just about the films, and I may do another 5 biggest mistakes about the television series. But anyways, here we go. At the top of the list, Dewey as the unknown killer in the series, which they could still do in Scream 5 and or Scream 6 if it happens. But I think they really missed the mark in the first trilogy of making this happen, because there are scenes in each of those films where you look at Dewey differently. For example, in Scream 2, when he's stabbed in the exact same place as he was stabbed in Scream 1, it's kind of and he happens to show up, by the way, right after the first set of murders in Scream 2. It's kind of interesting. Anyways, I think they really dropped the ball on this, and it would have been interesting, especially in Scream 3, if Dewey was revealed as the killer. Anyways, that's all I got on that theory. And if you go back and watch Scream 1 through 3, and there might be some in Scream 4 too, but in the original trilogy, there's a lot of scenes that make you look at Dewey as if maybe there's something there. Stumacher jail scene in Scream 3 or Scream 4. This is something that I wanted as a fan of the series, because I don't think Stumacher is dead. I think he survived and went into hiding. Not in hiding necessarily as a free man, but in jail. And he's, maybe he was the mastermind, not Roman Bridger. I think maybe he was guiding Roman Bridger. And it would have been interesting to see maybe Gale Weathers do an interview with Stumacher from prison. Or even have Dewey go visit him, and you could use that to lead into the whole Dewey being the secret killer during their conversation. They really missed the ball on that, and I would still like to see it. Bonus one I'll give you here, folks. I would actually like to see Jill Roberts return in Scream 5, which I believe I've talked about in one of my Scream 5 videos. I would actually like to see her return in jail and have Sidney or Gale or Dewey or even Kirby Reed, if they bring her back, because I think she's still alive, have one of them visiting Jill in prison, having her survive being shot in the chest, because she was shot in the chest, not in the heart, in the chest. Anyways, I think that would be very interesting, and Stumacher jail scene is something I think they sorely missed on. Next up, Judy Hicks being the second killer in Scream 4. This one is really based on the one scene she had with Sidney that I thought was impactful. And that would be the one where she's on the staircase and asking Sidney, "You don't remember me, do you?" And of course Sidney doesn't remember. She was, a bit player in her life. They were in a school play together. I mean, who cares? But it would have been interesting to see her unmask the way Jill did in the finale. And then that look on Sidney's face like, okay, I barely know you and you're trying to kill me. But it would have been interesting in that aspect. And it could have been as simple as her being jealous of Sidney's relationship with Dewey, because we all know Hicks has a thing for Sheriff Riley, or it's implied. Next up is the brother-sister storyline. It's been done. Hello, Halloween. I didn't like it in Stab 3, in Scream 3. Again, it had been done before, and it didn't really make a lot of sense. I mean, yes, Sidney's mother was a little bit promiscuous. She had a kid outside of marriage before she married Sidney's father. That's all well and good, but again, it's been done. I think they should have used somebody else. I like the original idea of having obsessed fans stalk Sidney at the beginning and having her kill them at the very beginning of the movie and having them be revealed as obsessed fans. I think that would have been way better than having this brother and sister storyline. I mean, it works. I mean, Scream 3 is... I keep wanting to call it Stab 3. Scream 3, for me, is the black eye on the franchise, because it's very much a goddamn Scooby-Doo adventure. Just the way it's shot, the way they look, the way they act. I didn't like the brother and sister storyline anyways. Lastly, the last one I'm going to talk about is not making Robbie and Charlie the killers in Scream 4. And seeing as how the way the movie played out, it would have been horrible for them to do this, the way the movie played out. But if they'd have been picked as the killers from the get-go, it would have been a completely different movie. And I say it would have been too on the nose the way the movie came out, because in the cinema club meeting where they're talking about movies and Sydney and Gail are there, they both point to each other and say, not to implicate him. And only one of them turned out to be one of the killers, which, it was a good ending. I enjoyed that movie. I really enjoyed that movie. I went and saw that movie opening weekend. And I'll tell you something, I was pissed. Sitting at Burger King after the movie, I'm eating my Whopper, and I'm just pissed, because initially I did not like the movie. And then as I'm eating my onion rings, it dawned on me, well, it's a typical Scream movie. And it was good. They got me. I mean, I figured out pretty much what was going on. But anyways, making Charlie and Robbie the killers would have been interesting, would have been fun, and it would have played on the Billy and Stu storyline a little bit better. I like the line Sydney says, though. You said it. Billy and Stu, Trevor and you. It makes sense in that aspect, but I think it would have been more interesting to see the gore geeks of the cinema club being the killers, because they love horror movies like Billy Loomis. And I think those two being the killers would have been more of a fit for the Scream Make storyline, rather than Jill, Sydney's cousin, being the killer because she was jealous of all the fame that Sydney acquired from all this bad shit happening to her. Anyways, folks, that is all I've got this week. The 5 biggest missteps or mistakes in the Scream film franchise. Say that 5 times fast. Everybody out there, take care, stay safe as we're getting out into the world, as everything is reopening. Remember to practice social distancing. Stay safe, everybody. Take care. I will see you guys next week with another video.